So X, with all that being said, are you willing to admit now? Are you willing to admit now that you are not on the fence?
What I wanted to know is what I want to know is what do you guys have in plan to help tip the elections in 2026 and 2020, because the most important thing that matters is winning elections.
Yeah, I think that I have a real issue, X, and I've said it on the show, and it's not popular in the live chat when I bag on Democrats, but they do not have a clear leader, and I keep asking, where's our Project 2029 plan? Where is it? They had the 2025. That plan had been crafted over, they say, a couple of decades. But where's our plan?
Well, let me start with
leadership.
So X, let me start with something that I'm pretty confident that Democrats won't do. They won't take away your health care. They won't take away your food stamps.
I know, but what I'm saying is, how do you guys plan to help people win? Because
I'm telling you, first of all, the plan is to do the opposite of what MAGA Republicans are doing right now. And I'm surprised that you'd be okay with what MAGA Republicans are doing right now. Sending the, hold on, while I'm answering your question, and sending the military into cities where local law enforcement say it's unneeded, to have our own military fight against our own American citizens, to not give people the right to due process and go everything against our Constitution is for. I would also say to go against the biggest tax breaks that we've had in the history of this country for the top 1%, while middle America is struggling and we're headed towards a recession, and using these tariffs to attack our allies, ruining people, ruining their families, splitting apart their families, not giving people due process.
I talked to multiple people and stuff like that, and a friend of mine, one time told me, let's watch a Their Attack Man show, and Their Attack Man was talking to True Allegiance, where they do, what was I going to say, with voters,
What about borders? People. Well, I don't understand, though. X, help me understand this. What has Donald Trump done that's good for the country, in your opinion? What has he done?
Like I said, I never thought he was good. He was not my choice, period.
Okay, but you're on the fence. You've said you're on the fence on this.
And he did say America first. So Brian's saying,
I'm just asking you, what has he done? I mean, I'll throw in the first administration as well. I'll even give you, 5 years. What has he done that you say, I mean, I could probably name maybe a few things, but what has he done in 8 months that you would say, man, that was really good for the country?
Last administration, 2017 to 2019 to 2020, it was kind of good.
Okay, so what was kind of good? When you say it was kind of good, I need you to be a little bit more specific than that. What was kind of good? And then X hangs up the phone. You see, let me explain to X what wasn't kind of good. When we were all locked up in our rooms with masks on, and we were losing 4,000 to 5,000 people a day from COVID. And meanwhile, Donald Trump was holding COVID press conferences and turning them into campaign rallies and underscoring how serious the virus was, and basically saying the opposite and talking about injecting yourself Clorox with a disinfectant. Okay, that wasn't kind of good. I'm going to tell you something else that wasn't kind of good. Something called January 6th. Where after a free and fair election, Donald Trump lied and continues to say that the election was rigged or stolen. He said it again a few days ago. And then we had some innocent people that lost their lives. We had some people, Capitol police officers that have traumatic brain injury because of morons that were there listening to their orange turd adjudicated abuser and 34 count felon who said that the election was stolen. That wasn't, quote, kind of good. I'll tell you something else that hasn't been kind of good in the last 8 months. The worst jobs report we've had in decades. The tariffs are ruining our economy. We are headed towards a recession. There are people all over the country that are not getting due process. Good, hardworking people. They might not have the legal documentation, but they have families. X. That's not kind of good. X.
So why is he on the fence?
So tell me what's kind of good in the last 8 months. On the fence? X, what's kind of good? Just help me understand. I want your opinion. What's kind of good right now? What's Trump done that's kind of good?
What I'm saying is right now I'm not happy. But are you
just then why are you on the fence? Then why are you on the fence then? You can't name one thing that he's done that's kind of good.
Get off the fence. Get in the game. Pick a side. Be able to articulate why you're on the side.
X, hold on. Let's give you the chance, X, okay? X, you use the term kind of good. In the 8 months of Donald Trump's second administration, can you please tell me what's, quote, kind of good?
I mean, at first I thought it was the deportations, but I'm starting to second guess that.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. So
sorry to say-
You mean the kidnappings?
I appreciate that, X. That's a start.
I'm not,
Okay.
look,
So
listen, what I
okay,
wanna ask you is this.
X, I appreciate that. Give me something else. Can you name anything that's kind of good?
Like, that was the only thing that I could.
Right.
That I
All
could
right.
Exactly.
So okay, X. Okay, so I appreciate your honesty, X. So can you
Like,
admit
can I-
now? Hold on, just let me get this question in, X. Then you got the floor. Okay. Can you admit that Donald Trump has been a horrible president? You can't even name one thing that he's done that's even kind of good. I agree with you on immigration. I'm glad you've changed your mind on that.
I mean, I think he's just trying to, just get even, man.
I agree with you. It's-
Revenge tour.
I-
He says it himself.
So that's not a good president, right? That's not a good attribute for somebody that's the leader of the free world, right?
When it was with Mike Pence and other people like that, it was.
So are you okay? So X, I appreciate that. So X, with all that being said, are you willing to admit now? Are you willing to admit now that you are not on the fence?
I'm starting to have considerations.
He's starting to step to the other side.
Okay, you're starting to.
Look, listen, what I want to ask you is, I'm not a fan of him. I'm a fan of Nixon. Not a fan of him.
Nixon. Did he say Nixon?
Yeah, he said Nixon.
President Nixon?
He was a
bizarre.
conservative liberal.
Yeah,
He got
conservative liar.
He was impeached,
Yeah.
after he was impeached, when it went to the Senate to get confirmed, he decided to quit.
All right, well,
because he knew he would get confirmed in the
so
Senate.
Leonard, you're right. We can go down that rabbit hole with him on Nixon. I don't even want to do that. X, I'm curious about something. Donald, hold on, X. Hold on. Hear me out, X. You couldn't name one semi-good thing that Donald Trump has done in 8 months. And you can't say unequivocally that he's a bad president and I am on the other side now? You can't unequivocally say that?
I just want the other side to be able to tell me something important. And what I want to ask you is, do you think that people who go and vote,
Can you say, can you honestly say that you've seen the light, that the PTL nation has shown you the light and you see it?
X, I can't understand what you're saying. I'm going to try to.
He's talking about people going out to vote.
Okay, forget about people going out to vote. X.
Do you think people need to have basic civics tests?
Okay.
So they know what the
Okay. So X.
Do you agree with that?
I will respond to that in a moment. I will respond to that in one moment. Let me ask you again. This is a very important question. You couldn't name one semi-good thing that Donald Trump has done in 8 months. You said you're.
I guess maybe the peace deal was.
Are you?
When I watched it.
Okay, so wait a second. How is it? Okay, let's go with that. You mentioned civics. Okay. Explain to me how this is a peace deal and not a ceasefire deal. Please explain that to me.
Oh, when I was talking about basic civics test, what I was saying is for people who go vote,
Whoa! I'm not talking about. Wait, X.
He's saying basic civics test.
X. You just said it was a peace. X. Focus. You just said it was a peace deal. Explain.
That's what Adam Mossman said when I watched it.
Oh, X. Listen to the question. Explain to me how this is a quote unquote peace deal and not a ceasefire. Please explain.
Adam Mossman, I watched the show.
I didn't ask you about Adam Mockler. By the way, Adam Mockler also agrees that this is not a peace deal. So I don't know what you're talking about. Adam Mockler.
He was on CNN
so
last
X,
night. Yeah.
Forget about Adam Mockler. I'm asking you. Explain to me how this is a peace deal and not a ceasefire deal. Go ahead.
You want to help him out?
Don't worry. It's not like we're on the radio or anything, but that's okay. I'll take your silence as you not understanding. So,
it was not a peace deal.
So X, Leonard and I have been talking about this.
It's not a peace deal, and the war is not over, and that's just bluster. That is Trump blustering, saying the war is over, and I had something to do with it.
X, when Hamas over the last 48 hours have executing people, okay, and they still have their weaponry, and they own or are in power of good portions of Gaza. Explain to me how this was a peace deal. Go ahead. I'll give you another opportunity. Go ahead. Explain how that's a peace deal.
It still remains to be seen. That's what I'm really saying. It remains to be seen. But
so why would you call it a peace deal when Hamas is executing people? How is that a peace deal? How does that remain?
They're going door to door, and they're finding the people that spoke against them. And the reports are that they're executing them in the street.
I read every type of article, whether it'll be from Adam.
I don't know what article you're. No article. There's no article. There's no article that's saying that this is a peace deal that has any bit of credibility. Okay, because it's not a peace deal. I don't know. Okay, the PBD. Okay, Patrick Bet-David is an imbecile. Okay, to give that guy any bit of credibility says a little bit about you. Okay, Adam Mockler has never said this is a peace deal. Okay, Donald Trump might want peace in the region. There's not peace in the region. Hamas has their artillery. Okay, they have executed people in the last 24 to 48 hours. That, to me, that is already breaking a ceasefire. So it's not even really a ceasefire. You're calling it a peace deal? What are you talking about? He hung up the phone. We didn't hang up on him.
That's
and he wants
fine.
to talk about a civics test. What is he talking about?
Well, civics, I understand what he's trying to say, but somebody who admitting they're ambivalent, they're on the fence, they can't make up their mind. Then he says, well, I'm starting to come off the fence a little bit, but here's the problem. Like a typical MAGA, because I think he's a MAGA, no facts, no circumstances, no proof, no news articles, no citable source, nothing that's logical or even comes close to common sense. And to be honest with you, Brian, I would really respect and appreciate it if he would have made sense of his argument. I really would.
He didn't. But I appreciate the attempt.